Welcome to another fascinating episode of Psych with Sigmund. I'm your host, Sigmund, and today we're diving into a captivating topic that has intrigued psychologists and the general public alike for decades: subliminal perception. This concept is all about how our minds process information below the threshold of conscious awareness, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in profound ways. Subliminal perception refers to the ability of our brains to perceive and respond to stimuli that are not consciously perceived. In simpler terms, it's about how we can be affected by messages, images, or sounds that we're not even aware of seeing or hearing. This concept has been a subject of interest in psychology since the early 20th century, with researchers exploring its implications for advertising, education, and even psychotherapy. From a theoretical perspective, subliminal perception is closely related to the idea of the subconscious mind, which was first introduced by Sigmund Freud. According to Freud, our subconscious mind processes information that is not available to conscious awareness, yet still influences our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The concept of subliminal perception builds upon this idea, suggesting that our brains can pick up on subtle cues that are not consciously perceived. One of the key psychologists who contributed to our understanding of subliminal perception is James Vicari, who conducted a famous study in the 1950s on subliminal advertising. Vicari's study involved flashing the words, "Eat popcorn and drink Coca-Cola" on a movie screen during a film, but at a speed that was too fast for conscious awareness. The results showed that sales of popcorn and Coca-Cola increased significantly during the screening, suggesting that the subliminal messages had an impact on viewers' behavior. However, it's worth noting that Vicari's study has been somewhat disputed, with some researchers questioning the methodology and results. Nevertheless, the concept of subliminal perception remains a fascinating area of research, with many studies exploring its implications for advertising, social influence, and even therapeutic applications. For example, research has shown that subliminal messages can be used to improve self-esteem and confidence. In one study, participants were exposed to subliminal messages such as "you are competent" or "you are capable," which were embedded in a series of images. The results showed that participants who received the positive subliminal messages reported higher levels of self-esteem and confidence compared to those who did not receive the messages. Another area where subliminal perception has been applied is in the treatment of anxiety disorders. Researchers have used subliminal exposure therapy, which involves exposing individuals to feared stimuli at a subconscious level to help reduce symptoms of anxiety. For instance, a person with a fear of spiders might be shown images of spiders at a speed that is too fast for conscious awareness, but still allows the brain to process the information. In addition to these therapeutic applications, understanding subliminal perception can also help us navigate our everyday lives more effectively. By recognizing the potential influence of subliminal messages on our thoughts and behaviors, we can become more discerning consumers and critically evaluate the information we encounter. For example, when watching television or browsing social media, we might be exposed to subtle cues that are designed to influence our purchasing decisions or emotional responses. In conclusion, subliminal perception is a complex and multifaceted concept that highlights the intricate workings of the human mind. By exploring the theoretical background, research findings, and practical applications of this concept, we can gain a deeper understanding of how our brains process information below the threshold of conscious awareness. As we go about our daily lives, it's essential to remain aware of the potential influence of subliminal messages on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. To illustrate this point, consider the following example. Imagine you're walking through a shopping mall and you catch a glimpse of a billboard with a subtle message that says, "You deserve a treat." You might not consciously register the message, but your brain could still pick up on it and influence your behavior. Perhaps you'll find yourself craving a sweet snack or feeling more inclined to make an impulse purchase. By acknowledging the power of subliminal messages, we can take steps to cultivate greater self-awareness, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, And until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.